Good evening, all. Hopefully, this should work. You should be able to see me in glorious HD. So hopefully, you should be able to hear and see me. Okay. Hopefully, it's not too echoey, etc. If anybody in the chat could just let me know if everything's okay, that would be greatly appreciated. To answer the first question of the night, the most important question is, what are we drinking? Well, it had to be, really. There's a lot of night in crime talk, wasn't there, in the last couple of weeks? So we had to have we had to go and get a bottle. Well, Mum actually got me it. We had a slight nightmare, and we slightly cracked the. I don't know if you can see that. We slightly cracked the rim of it when opening. The perils of using a waiter's opener, is it? I think it is. Anyway, that didn't go to plan there, but never mind. It sounds like everybody's able to see and hear me. Unfortunately, we've got a new webcam. It's hopefully quite a lot of certainly owners I manage anyway, or syndicates I manage anyway. Hopefully, experienced. Unfortunately for them, this is certainly something we're trying to do a little bit more of. Get some more video updates out there as time goes on, and obviously, you'll know, got a new bit of a setup as well. Trying it out in the office as well. We do also have a bit of the Woodford Reserve. Strong stuff, aren't we? On as well. That's just there to lighten the mood. So I'm reading the questions off a piece of paper tonight, so I don't have to keep flicking between screens, hopefully, anyway. And that should mean I can engage with the chat a little bit more, or keep an eye on things a little bit more. Well, we've had a good week, I think, or a bad week, I think. I'm not too sure. We're perfectionists here at Middleham Park. We enjoy having winners, and this week alone we've had 5 second places. That takes some doing, really. So connections of Cozone, Catelli, Gensfella, Sweet Celebration, and Greek Kodiak, all endured, whichever way you want to look at it, a second place this week. So well done to you guys. It's always tricky. It's always tricky to get winners, isn't it? But to have 5 in a week is some going. But I think we're all destined to win. Cozone, I think that's his second for us. We've only had him for 2 starts now with James Ferguson, our first horse with him, and he looks a dead set winner, doesn't he? Sweet Celebration, very consistent, good horse. Jens Fella, since been massively upped in trips around the 2 miles, he's kind of been a revelation, and his turn's going to come, isn't it? I really thought he was going to win there the other day. Catelli, my heart goes out to his connections. They really deserve a win. They've been very patient with him, and his turn will come. We've got him in a race in a few days' time. Hopefully, we can take that up. It's the same race that we ran in, not 55, 6 furlong around Wolverhampton. Fingers crossed that works the magic for him. And Greek Kodiak, another, before I speak about him, another unlucky horse there was Lethal Lunch. Obviously, he won last time for us, on again only the second start for us with for Michael Bell. He was terribly unlucky. He didn't finish second, but he was the winner of his race. I'm not going to critique the ride. He was only a little bit away from it being a special ride, but we ducked up the inside, and in racing with a hold-up horse, you're a slave to what goes on in front of you, and we just found plenty of trouble, didn't we? But safe to say, he should be pretty competitive next time. But Great Kodiak, a horse we only acquired 10 days ago. Nick Bell, son of Michael, who's no surprise the trainer of the horse. He recommended him to us, and we managed to very nearly get the job done on first time. So well done to his connections, to his owners, who only a few days ago snapped him up. Now, you can probably tell I'm significantly in need of a haircut as well. I've got a very fetching mullet coming on, showing my inner Australian or cowboy, if you like. If I do randomly jump and shout and swear, I've got a radiator under the desk. This does work, but I've also got a radiator underneath the desk. So if I burn my foot, you might just it's fair points in Peking. 5 seconds are better than 5 last. as everybody says, at least they're running well, but you'd rather have winners, wouldn't you? Lots of interesting beverages on this evening. We've got G&T, Sky Red Ale, red wine. Someone's on 19 Crimes as well. Good stuff. Do let me know what you're consuming, obviously. Yeah. Right. I think we tweeted the rounds. We've got general knowledge, which was mainly curated by Sarah, and I did one or two in there. Film, that's myself. Sport, Dave Borton, once again. I think I popped one in there. Blockbusters back, that was Sarah as well. And Tom Denham, as ever, has done a picture round. Very cultured picture round this week, I feel. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but well played. Right. Without further ado, I know there's some team on. So this is far more entertaining, obviously, than watching that going on. So I think we're all probably familiar with rules. We're going to pop the questions in the chat. So if you miss them, I am about as far away from the router as I can possibly get. So hopefully we don't lose internet connection at any point. We shouldn't do. I'd like to think we should be sound up here. And yeah, so we'll pop the questions in the chat if you don't hear them or whatever, or you just want to go back. Please don't pop the answers in the chat. That goes without saying. Obviously, we're all here for a bit of fun. Don't go googling, etc. There's no real winners and losers here. Everybody's a winner. So without further ado, I think we will. Well, first things first. I'm going to turn this radiator down. It is sweltering. I think we've got. I think we've got the old heating on as well. So I'm a bit hot. Right. So enough blabbling and jabbling. Forgive me if I keep looking away. But I'm going to do my, like I say, I'm going to do my newsreader and read the questions off a piece of paper for once. So eyes down for your full house. Question 1 in your general knowledge round. On the famous Abbey Road album cover image, which Beatle is in front crossing the road? On the famous Abbey Road album cover image, which Beatle is in front crossing the road? Obviously, it's going over a zebra crossing for Beatles, but what we want to know is which one is at the front. It's just a lovely glass of red, this. Every week we always say it, the 19 Crimes. I've not actually Googled it yet. I've not actually checked it out. We need to work out what the 19 Crimes were that you could go. I'm sure somebody far more intelligent than myself knows the 19 Crimes. But 19 Crimes that would get you sent to Australia or deported over to Australia as a prisoner. That's why it's called 19 Crimes. Thank you for that. Yeah, it can get a long round. It can get a long quiz if I don't take it too steady. But hey, there we go. Question number 2: Who hosts the popular Radio 2 Popmaster weekday quiz? Who hosts the popular Radio 2 Popmaster weekday quiz? Yeah, Mailman just texted him as a window above your head. To open. I thought he was making guess I hit it. Yeah, got a point, but they have to be hot and cold. Who hosts the popular Radio 2 Popmaster weekday quiz? It's just nice to have eating on for once. This is quite garish, actually. I've always had this. It's a double crown. Never get rid of it unless I go really, really short. Question number 3. I'm going to give you 3 answers for this. So it's a multiple selection, multiple choice. Actor James Stewart rode the same chestnut horse in 17 different westerns. But what was the horse's name? Was it A, Whiskey? Was it B, Pie? Or was it C, Beano? Actor James Stewart rode the same chestnut horse in 17 different westerns. What was the horse's name? Whiskey, Pie, or Beano? Oh, Scott's saying that said, or she. What was the horse's name? If you don't know, hazard a guess. Question number 4. What is the name of the official Downing Street cat? What is the name of the official Downing Street cat? Actually, counted how many this is out of. Prepared as ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Your first round is out of 11. Here's one I made earlier. What is the name of the official Downing Street cat? Question number 5. Which country is credited as the birthplace of gin? Which country is credited as the birthplace of gin? Have I ever had a gin on here? I'm not sure I've done gin and tonic or gin and lemonade on here. Yes, gin and lemonade, it's very nice. I know I'll probably have a lot of people turning their noses up at that. A lot of people turn their nose up at gin and lemonade, but there we are. Oh. So 5, yep. Which country is credited as the birthplace of gin? Question number 6, 2 points. Where does Route 66 start and finish? So a point for where it starts and a point for where it finishes. Where does the famous Route 66 start and finish? We do like a bit of Edinburgh gin at the moment. We do like a bit of Edinburgh gin. Where does Route 66 start and finish? Point for each. No, not America. America in America is not going to be an answer. Question number 7. Who was Wile E. Coyote always trying to catch in the Looney Tunes cartoon series? Who was Wile E. Coyote always trying to catch in the Looney Tunes cartoon series? Apparently, Route 66 usually comes in the first over. We've been playing okay. Well, first test we were very good. Second test we were moderate, weren't we? Moderate, but still okay. Apparently, we have 19 crimes available. I'll slot them in after this round. It was, wasn't it? It wasn't a fantastic pitch at all. But backyard advantage, home field advantage, isn't it? And we're not going to make nice swingy pitches when they come over here this summer. Just is what it is, isn't it? That's the whole point of touring. Anyway, question 8. A quarter of a standard bottle of wine is called what? A quarter of a standard bottle of wine is called what? Now, I'll give you some clues. Or a clue. It shares its name with a stallion and also means small in Italian. A quarter of a standard bottle of wine is called what? It shares its name with a stallion, who Middleham Park have had a few of, but Annunciation, Indomenio, and Magic Casement were all by this stallion. No, 2 of them weren't. Absolutely got them wrong. Indomenio was, though. A quarter of a standard bottle of wine is called what? That's why I shouldn't give you clues. Just leave you to get the answer yourself. A quarter of a standard bottle of wine is called what? It shares its name with a stallion, sire of Indemeno, and means small in Italian. So there's 2 clues. I shouldn't have given you any clues because I made less of a fool of himself. Well, it's very continental, isn't it? A quarter of a bottle of wine. It's not very British, is it? Probably had a quarter bottle already. It's very continental, cultured people over there. Number 9. Reassuringly expensive was the tagline of which brand until 2007? Reassuringly expensive was the tagline of which brand until 2007? Got on here. There's some good ones on there, actually, yes. Right. And question 10. What type of cake topped with marzipan is traditionally made at Easter? What type of cake topped with marzipan is traditionally made at Easter? Now, I think I'll do these 19 crimes in little batches, whilst I'll just let you all collate your answers. I'll give you the first few of the 19 crimes that could get you sent to Australia. Grand larceny, petty larceny, buying or receiving stolen goods, jewels and plates, stealing lead, iron or copper, or buying or receiving it, and number 5, impersonating an Egyptian. Okay. There we go. There's your first 5. Sure, you're all down to know them. Right. Answers. Otherwise known as a mouthful for a quarter of a bottle of wine. Correct. Right. So, swap your sheets and let's get marking. Highlighters out now so you know it's serious. On the famous Abbey Road album cover image, which Beatle is in the front? It was John Lennon. It was taken in 1969. Who hosts popular Radio 2 Popmaster Weekday Quiz? Ken Bruce, who apparently is a bit of a racing fan. Question 3. Actor James Stewart rode the same chestnut horse in 17 different westerns. What was his name? Was it Whiskey Pie or Beano? It was B, Pie. Apparently, he tried to buy him many times, but his owner didn't want to sell. He was buried at James Stewart's California ranch when he died. So the answer was B, Pie. What is the official Downing Street cat called? Larry. He has over 400,000 Twitter followers. Jealous. I bet he's been verified and everything, hasn't he? A cat. Fair play. I've never really understood them impersonating animal profiles, but there we go. Number 5. Which country is credited as the birthplace of gin? Holland or the Netherlands is credited as the birthplace of gin. The 2-pointer, woohoo, big one. Where does Route 66 start and finish? It starts in Chicago and it finishes in Santa Monica in Los Angeles. So except Los Angeles or Santa Monica. So Chicago, 1 point. Santa Monica, LA is another point. Who was Wile E. Coyote always trying to catch in the Looney Tunes cartoon series? Roadrunner. Question 8. A quarter of a standard bottle of wine is also called what? A mouthful. We'll accept a mouthful. Or piccolo. Piccolo. In the menu was by the sire Piccolo. And apparently it means small in Italian. Reassuringly expensive is the tagline of which brand until 2007? Stella Artois. Larry is not verified on Twitter. Still time for me to out-verify a cat. And finally, what type, I'm going to butcher this, what type of cake topped with marzipan is traditionally made at Easter? Simnel cake. So that was out of 11. If you want to pop in the chat how you got on either the next round, Tom. If you want to pop in the chat and let me know how you got on, I'd be interested to know. Was it an easy round, bad round? I should probably ask the curators of the round for the scores, actually, what they deem a good score. But I'm going to say out of 11, John with a solid 4, Daryl 9, Dean 7, Peter Allison a 9, 7, 4, 5. It was a tricky old little round, that. Tricky old round, I feel. It could have been quite alcohol heavy, you're right. It is a pub quiz, though. Well done. Smith Clan, 8. Good. Joy, you got to do better. 4. I expected better from you. Okay, right. We'll swiftly move on to your film round, which was curated by yours truly. I, again, haven't counted how many it's out of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's only out of 10. Okay, so question 1 of film. Who directed The Terminator, Titanic, and Avatar? Who directed The Terminator, Titanic, and Avatar? Christ, I don't want to be doing that too much. Luckily, I've got some strong antiperspirant. Who directed The Terminator, Titanic, and Avatar? Question number 2. What did Tom Hanks compare life to in Forrest Gump? What did Tom Hanks compare life to in Forrest Gump? Just realised that there's reflecting. Is that too off-putting, or is nobody that bothered? I mean, you're probably looking anywhere else apart from airline. Must buy a lampshade. What did Tom Hanks compare life to in Forrest Gump? Question number 3. What was the name of a skyscraper in the first Die Hard film? What was the name of a skyscraper in Die Hard? I wish this would come down. I've always blooming at it. And then when you go really short, there's like a little pongo patch, as Mum calls it. If you've ever seen Freddie Flintoff, you know, when he had his skinhead, there's like a little brown patch. I've got one of them there as well. It's a weird. It's a weird hair and head. It's even weirdos, isn't it? Question 4. Who played Marty McFly in the Back to the Future trilogy? Who played Marty McFly in the Back to the Future trilogy? Oh, hark at bloody 5'10" over there, Tim Pancake. Who played Marty McFly in the Back to the Future trilogy or franchise? Question 5. Who did Tom Cruise play in Top Gun? Who did Tom Cruise play in Top Gun? But still, I don't think it's out yet. I've not seen it been released. That was another COVID delayed film, much in the same vein as new Jimmy Bond. That's slated for a year and a half later, isn't it? Yes, at least I've got to moan about Timmy. Question number 6. Well, nobody's perfect is a final line in which Marilyn Monroe film? Well, nobody's perfect is a final line in which Marilyn Monroe film? A pilot is not the answer. Well, it is, but I would like the name of said pilot. Sorry. Do you know what I will? There is on the Tom Cruise one, on question 5, there is a nickname I'll accept. On that one. Question 6 was, well, nobody's perfect is the final line of which Marilyn Monroe film? Question 7. Who was the voice of a genie in the original Aladdin? I think it was 90, I want to say 95. That one. The original Disney animated Aladdin. Who was the voice of a genie in Aladdin? I've been reliably informed it's a call sign, not a nickname, which is indeed correct. Had my head in shame. Sorry. It is bloody good stuff, Woodford Reserve. Question 8. Happy Gilmore famously, really good stuff, famously won the Tour Championship this week, but in 1996, as depicted in the golf comedy film of the same name. But who threw away a 4-shot lead in Gilmore? Yeah, I saw that picture, Jamie, actually, of you on Twitter with your long and grey hair, as you say. I've not just offended him there, I hope. But as he says in chat, yeah, I saw that picture. It's very interesting. Happy Gilmore famously won the Tour Championship this week, as depicted in the 1996 comedy golf film of the same name. But who threw away a 4-shot lead in the film to finish in 2nd place? I'm just going to read through the other 19 crimes you can get. Wow, there's some absolute jaffers coming up in the next 10. Well, the next 5. Down to 10. Question number 9. What is the first rule of Fight Club? Question number 9. What is the first rule of Fight Club? Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Each sport rounds out of 13. What is the first rule of Fight Club? And question 10. In Danny Boyle's Oscar-winning 2008 film, which popular game show was featured? In Danny Boyle's Oscar-winning film in 2008, which popular game show was featured? It won 8 Oscars, if you're wondering. Are they? I didn't know. John's just saying that these were a bit tough. I guess like anything, they're only easy if you know the answers, and maybe they could be a bit niche. They could be a little bit me biased. I thought I'd spread them out enough, got enough 80s, 70s, 60s sort of stuff in there, a little bit for everybody, but no, what's life without a bit of a challenge, eh? So that's your film round. Be interested to see how everybody got on there, really. Let's go ahead and do some marking, shall we? Said no teacher ever. Who directed the Terminator, Titanic, and Avatar? James Cameron, amongst many other films, of course. I think he even did Titanic 2. There was a Titanic 2, but not him. Terminator 2. What did Tom Hanks compare life to in Forrest Gump? That was, of course, a box of chocolates sat on the bench. Very famous scene. It's not called that in real life. But it is a real skyscraper. Who played Marty McFly in Back to the Future franchise? Michael J. Fox. I think he's got Parkinson's, hasn't he? Who did Tom Cruise play in Top Gun? It was Lieutenant Pete Mitchell, or Pete Maverick Mitchell. And I've accepted the call sign Maverick. If you wanted to just provide that, I'd accept that for point. But big pat on the back if you got Lieutenant Pete Mitchell. Well, nobody's perfect is a final line from which Marilyn Monroe film? That, of course, is Some Like It Hot. Timmy, you better have got that one. Question 7. Who was the voice of a genie in the original Aladdin as a late great Robin Williams? The answer to question 3 was Nakatomi Plaza. Seems like I just broke up there. I knew I jinxed it when I said the internet was going to be strong enough up here. Question 3 was what is the name of a skyscraper in Die Hard? Nakatomi Plaza. Nakatomi Plaza. Question 8. Happy Gilmore famously won the Tour Championship this week as depicted in the 1996 golf comedy film of the same name, but who threw away the 4-shot lead? That was Shooter McGavin. Shooter McGavin. He threw away a 4-shot lead. And it was on the back 9 as well. Proper choke artist. What is the first rule of Fight Club? It's also the second rule of Fight Club, which is don't talk about Fight Club. Just don't talk about it. And number 10, in Danny Boyle's Oscar-winning 2008 film, which popular game show was featured? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Might have given it away if I'd given the title of the film, Slumdog Millionaire. So that was out of 10. I would be really interested, actually, then, if some people have already commented saying it was hard to see how many you got. I would say, if people are saying it's hard, let's go with, again, 7. If you got 7, well done. How many did we all get? 5 from John and 8 from Russell. I'll let the scores come in, and whilst they're coming in, I'll give you a couple more, or a few more, of the 19 crowns that get you sent to Australia. Still like impersonating an Egyptian, number 5. Stealing from furnished lodgings. Setting fire to Underwood. Stealing letters, advancing the postage and secreting the money. Assault with the intent to rob. Stealing fish from a pond or river. That was, well, fishing without replacing, I guess. We'll do some more after the next round. So now you're all just wanting to know. There are 7s, 5, 6, 4s, 5s. Maybe I've gone quite tricky this week. Oh, we've gone quite tricky this week. Team Ashworth with 9. Smith Clan, 18 in total. Yes, it's kind of hit or miss, I guess. As with all quizzes, they're only easy if you know the answers, aren't they? And I guess if you like that sort of film that I like, you've got an advantage. I'll try better for the next one. And well, whilst we're speaking of the next one, I know we took a 2-week hiatus. I think what we'll do with regard to the next quiz is let's just see what Bojo's got to say tomorrow. Hopefully, you know, the good news we've had over the last few days of the vaccination really speeding up, and all adults should be done by July, he says. So fingers crossed I can get done after July. And let's see what he's got to say tomorrow with regards to everything, really, and hopefully getting people back on a race course even, dare I say. I know Aintree and Chester are quite confident. But yeah, anyway, enough of that. On to sport. Kindly curated once again by our very own Dave Borton. So I found for you sport. Who was the first, question 1, obviously, who was the first woman to win a darts match at the World Championship in December 2019? Who was the first woman to win a darts match at the World Championship in December 2019? One of my mates has just texted me. I came here for a quiz, not for not for a coronavirus update. So who was the first woman to win a darts match at the World Championship in December 2019? Question number 2. Who succeeded Sven-Göran Eriksson as England manager? Who succeeded Sven-Göran Eriksson as England manager? I did say it was like a news report. Who succeeded Sven-Göran Eriksson as England manager? Now, on that, there's a fun fact. I'm going to bore you all. I was going through England managers, and it appears Man City have had the most England managers as their manager. So I think that makes us pretty special. Sven, Kevin Keegan, Joe Mercer, Stuart Pearce. We are very special. Not so today. Anyway, question 3. I'll give you 3 answers, 3 options for this one. So if you don't know, take a guess. How many times has Tony McCoy been Britain's jump racing champion jockey? How many times has Tony McCoy been Britain's jump racing champion jockey? Now, we all know I do very, very well with the facts on Tony McCoy. If we all remember the sports personality one, which I completely messed up. We all know history, Man City. Gags, love it. Next, you'll say there's no fans, which I can't argue with for the last year or so. I didn't give you the answers, did I? A, 18, B, 20, C, 22. A, 18, B, 20, C, 22. I must stop drinking now. A, 18, B, 20, C, 22. How many times has he been champion jump jockey? Question number 4. In which city does a World Snooker Championship take place? In which city does the World Snooker Championship take place? Timmy said we do have history. You starting to sound like them bitter Reds who were in a relegation battle. Not the other bitter Reds, the other bitter Reds. In which city does the World Snooker Championship take place? Question number 5. Which English referee officiated the 2010 World Cup final? Which English referee officiated the 2010 World Cup final? Or would it still been 2010 back then? Only the sort of the 2012s, 2011s came about after, didn't it? So was it still? Was it 2010 then, or was it 2010? I'd probably say it's 2010. Question number 6. Which rugby league side play their home matches at the Totally Wicked Stadium? I knew I was going to say it like that. Which rugby league side play their homes at the Totally Wicked Stadium? Not like an American teenager. Which rugby league side plays their home matches at the Totally Wicked Stadium? Question number 7. Manchester United's highest attendance was 81,962 in the English First Division, but at which ground was this achieved? Manchester United's highest attendance was 81,962 in the English First Division, but at which ground was this achieved?
Decided to write on my laptop there. Question number 8. It's a 4-pointer. We might have had this question before for those who were there during lockdown 1 all that time ago. I think we might have anyway. Name the 4 Grand Slam events in tennis. Name the 4 Grand Slam events in tennis. I'm going to give you a point for each. So it's just going to take a little bit of time to come up with. I think we're still holding on quite well. A little bit there. A little bit more red. Just want a big bottle there rather than having to lean over here. It's rude, isn't it, to lean over you? The 4 Grand Slam events in tennis, please. I must admit, I'm quite liking the desk setup. It's much easier to access the alcohol than it was having to lean down and grab it. Question number 9. Which team did Kobe Bryant spend his basketball career with? Which team did Kobe Bryant spend his basketball career with? I say this every week, but it's always interesting in the sport round. Everybody takes it proper serious. There's no messing around in the sports round. There's no engaging in the chat. It's just business. Everybody's down to business in the sports round. I guess that's what everybody's got in common. We all like sport, don't we? Hence, we're all here for horses. Final question. In which sport could someone be found at Silly Point? In which sport could someone be found at Silly Point? So that is so that is your sports round. We might as well just crack on with the answers. I think. Yes. Question 1. Who was the first woman to win a darts match at the World Championship in December 2019? Fallon Sherlock. Who succeeded Sven Goran? I'm just reading the chat there, sorry. Who succeeded Sven Goran Eriksson as England manager? The Wally with Brolly, easy for you to say, Steve McLaren. How many times has Tony McCoy been Britain's champion jump jockey? Is it 18, 20, or 22? It was 20 times he was. In which city does the World Snooker Championship take place? Sheffield. The Mecca of snooker. Which English referee officiated the 2010 World Cup final? Of course, was Howard Webb. Which rugby league side play their home matches at the totally wicked, awesome stadium? St Helens. Manchester United's highest attendance was 81,962. In the English First Division, it sounds like I've butchered someone's. Fallon Sherlock. I probably just, I think I've messed up. My bad. Manchester United's highest attendance was 81,962 in the English First Division. But at which ground was this achieved? It was at Main Road in 1948. I mean, Man City managed to get 84,596 into the same ground. But hey, we've got no fans. Question number 8. Name the 4 Grand Slam events in tennis in no particular order. Wimbledon, US Open, French Open, and the Australian Open. Point for each of those.
Which team did Kobe Bryant spend his basketball career with? That's the Los Angeles Lakers. And finally, you didn't think we were going to forget a cricket question, did you? In which sport could someone be found at Silly Point? Cricket. So that was out of 13. How did you all get on? I felt the main road was a stinker of a question. And potentially the Sven-Goran Eriksson question who was after that. I struggled with that when I was looking through it. So it's out of 13. Let's go with, if you got double figures, you've done really well. I think if you got more than 8, you've done all right. Double figures, you've probably done pretty well. Alan Gibson, 9. Russell with a 10. John with a 10. Ashworth's Nee Milner, 11. Joy with an 11. That's more like it. Peter Allison with an 11. Jamie with 9. Good scores, everybody. We all like our sport round. No wonder it goes quiet. Everybody loves it. Everybody goes well in the sport round. But the sport round is nothing compared to the glorious round. And the fan favourite, that is Blockbuster. Now, for those who haven't played it before, where have you been? For those who haven't, basically, we will give you the first letter of the answer with a clue. It should all become self-explanatory. If you don't understand that, I'm struggling to give you an example, but it should become perfectly clear. So, Blockbuster this week. This was Buster and Lola tonight. Well, they don't tend to venture up to the office. It's a long way from them. There's no Buster and Lola, I'm afraid. Question 1. They're not numbered. We had this problem last week, didn't we? And the dogs have just started barking. I can hear them, but I can't see them. I'm sure Mum will have sent them up. What P is a single serving of a meal? What P is a single serving of a meal? This was kindly curated by Sarah. With, I think I changed 1 or 2. I can hear the dogs legging it upstairs. Here they are. Bush there. Lola. We're not gonna. Question 2. Which A is a racecourse that is situated in the postcode SL5? SL5. Which racecourse is situated in that postcode? Lola. Lola. Go on. No, she's having none of it. Which A is a racecourse that is situated in the postcode SL5? Lolly Bolly. Come here, Lola. Oh, got it. Look, she's doing it really willingly. Lolly. Question 3. Which N is a bird that sang in Berkeley Square? Which N is a bird that sang in Berkeley Square? Needs to go on Pooch Perfect. She's far from that. What N is a bird that sang in Berkeley Square? I need to number these. I was doing that before the dogs intruded.
You said they weren't
there. 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10. Right. Question 4. What C
is the army rank just below sergeant? What C is the army rank just below sergeant? Bushter. The Bushter dog's still here though. Bushter, can you jump up? You lazy sod. Bushter. Bushter. He's come for a food. Yeah, cheers, Bust. That kind of sums him up, actually. Yeah, he's now following the bag of treats back downstairs. So there's your weekly dog date or pup date. Question number 5. What A is a calculating tool that has been in use since ancient times? What A is a calculating tool that has been in use since ancient times? I've been called worse. And Dr. Doolittle. I have such a rapport with them. I have to clear off and don't do anything that I ask of them. Bless them. Question number 6. What K is a popular vegetable from the cabbage family? What K is a popular vegetable from the cabbage family? I think we should be good to keep this under an hour again. I didn't give you any crimes, did I? I'll have to give you them in a bit of a hit. Question number 7. What E is an independent boarding school near Windsor founded in 1440? What E is an independent boarding school near Windsor founded in 1440? Maybe, Nicola. Maybe. What E is an independent boarding school founded in 1440? Notes on horses there. Question 8. What D is French for Sunday? What D is French for Sunday? And I'm sure Sarah's put this in just to really wind me up late on in a quiz. Oh, that's unacceptable, Dilly. Sarah's just texted today. Yes, she has. She's deliberately trying to get me to pronounce stuff when I'm half cut. Thank you. Question 9. What A is a brand of unmarked police car used in the series Ashes to Ashes? What A is a brand of unmarked police car used in the series Ashes to Ashes? Oh yeah, go on. What are your pancake toppings? Have you got any weird and wonderful ones? What are your pancake toppings of choice? I've just properly given it away, but I'm sure you're all intelligent humans. You've all probably guessed what we've done there. What are your toppings of choice? I had maple syrup on. We had 2.5 pancakes. Maple syrup, and lemon and sugar. There we go. And your final blockbuster one. What Y is associated with a glamping holiday? What Y is associated with a glamping holiday? We've got treacle, we've got lemon and sugar so far. Treacle, I wasn't just referring to someone there. Lemon and sugar. Nutella's always a good shout. Nutella and banana. Dad had ham.
I'm not a big fan of a savoury pancakes there. I can tell people are concentrating, they're not coming back with the answers. Oh, yeah, food. Nutella, yeah, good shout, Peter. Ham and cheese and salt. Peanut butter and jam. Tuna. Chorizo and cheese. I guess we're a bit more like a omelette kind of style, like it. Anyway, look, I'll get on with your blockbuster answers whilst we, yeah, the tuna is, you're going to have to justify yourself there, John, I'm afraid. That is out there. Anyway, your blockbuster answers. Question 1. Before you got interrupted by the twins. What P is a single serving of a meal? It's a portion. Which A is a racecourse that is situated in the postcode SL5? Ascot. What N is the bird that sang in the Berkeley Square? Nightingale. What C, question 4, is the army rank just below sergeant? Corporal. What A is a calculating tool that has been used since ancient times? Abacus. What K is a popular vegetable from the cabbage family? Kale. What E is an independent boarding school near Windsor, founded in 1440? Eton. What D is French for Sunday? Dimanche. Dimanche. Sunday. Oh, absolutely butchered that. What A is the brand of unmarked police car used in the series Ashes to Ashes? Audi. And finally, what Y is associated with a glamping holiday? A yurt. A yurt. Kind of a tenty thing. So that was out of 10. How did you get on? I felt that was probably the hardest blockbuster we've had. I can tell you definitely did German. Yeah, I did do German at school, not French. That's fine. I felt that was the hardest, but I take it all back. Everybody's scoring 10s. Well done, everybody. I thought that was a real hard blockbuster. Lots of 10s and 9s. Fair play, everybody. Well done. Right. I'll get the, as ever, terribly underprepared, and I don't get the, I know he sent me it, I just don't have the answers to your picture round. Here we go. Right, got them. Your answers to the picture round are, number 1 was, so it's the author of these classic books. So number 1, Jane Austen. Number 2, Roald Dahl. Number 3, Harper Lee. Number 4, regular contributor to the quiz, George Orwell. Number 5, J.K. Rowling. Number 6, Scott Fitzgerald. Number 7, C.S. Lewis. Number 8, Charlotte Bronte. Number 9, Charles Dickens. And number 10, Bram Stoker. So Jane Austen, Roald Dahl, Harper Lee, George Orwell, J.K. Rowling, Scott Fitzgerald, C.S. Lewis, Charlotte Bronte, Charles Dickens, and Bram Stoker were your answers to your picture round this week out of 10. How many did you get? Thanks to Tom for curating that round once again. I always enjoy the picture round. Wow, everybody's done really well there. 10s. Everybody's doing 10s. A lot of cultured people about. Well done. I mean, I expect nothing less from you guys. Very, very cultured set of individuals. Now, just going to tick over the hour, but thank you very much for joining us once again. Obviously, as ever, we'll go on our social media channels and we'll post asking you to post just how you got on. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As I say, let's see what happens tomorrow with the announcement from the government as to hopefully we can start getting the life back to normal. Should shed a little bit of light, and we'll start talking about whether we should do another quiz on Sunday or not. But for now, thank you very much for joining us. Hope we didn't bore you too long. Thank you very much again, and look, we'll speak speak to you in a week as owners, and might see you next Sunday if we're still in lockdown. Thank you for joining us.